Well, hey guys, hi. It is Brent Abel here, SeniorTennisTV.com and WebTennis.com, and this is a first for me today, and I think for my co-host today, who I've got 3,000 miles away, maybe even more than that, 3,500 miles away. I'm in the Mission Hills Country Club at our second home here in Rancho Mirage, California. And on the Skype with me in I'm assuming Naples, Florida, is Larry Turville.
Brent, I'm in my little cabin up in Dunellen, Florida.
Oh, you guys are up in Florida. Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Well, you're in the right state. Glad to be with you, Brent.
I'm in the right state. Good. I've been accused of worse. So, Larry, listen, man, thank you so much for being on the call today. And this is going to be a real treat, I know, for whoever gets a chance to watch this video. Getting your feedback, not only in terms of strategy and tactics and shot selection and player court positioning, but also kind of what's going through your mind since you're one of the players. We've just watched the first game where you and Neal broke serve in the first game of this match at the Sterling Oaks Club in Naples, Florida. This was originally recorded back in January. It's now January of 2015, and this is the finals of the men's 65 doubles. This is a
finals. We're playing Marc and Jared Florian. Jared's got the red hat there.
Right.
First, we kind of steamrolled him. I started out with a good run around. Neal hit a good low return, and then I bopped one down the line, and Neal hit another good low. So we got him.
So what's
as you can see in the background? It's a little breezy today.
In fact, it was a little bit more than breezy on this day. It got a little bit windy. What I'm curious about, first of all, Larry, is have you played these guys before?
I've played them numerous times. They're a very good team. They play really well together. They have, as you could tell by the last point, they have great hands and they're scrappy. They do a lot of kind of dinking, and then they'll lob you. Not particularly overpower you at all. Good move by Neal there. But they just keep getting the ball back,
Right.
And so they're tough. They're like ranked 2 or 3 in the nation, I think, overall. So they're a good team.
Good solid team. And I know they've played a lot of doubles together. They've been regular partners for quite some time, and which is a real asset for you guys out there listening to it. To this, there's such a huge value in playing with the same partner, just in terms of instincts. I mean, you and Neal have played forever. I mean, you guys must know exactly what you're doing.
We started when we were an interesting point. This is what these guys do awfully well. Is you notice Jared lobbed over Neal, forced me to run back there. To me, the best shot coming back is another lob. And on this particular day, there's a good sun up there, so it was really difficult for him to hit that overhead.
Right. So.
And there's another lob.
Yep. And this is you're right. This sort of really illustrates how to start the point off with a lob. And Larry, talk a little bit about the great Neal Newman. What are
Neal is pretty incredible.
I mean, we all kind of joke about all the joints that he's got covered up with all the wraps, but man, the guy is just such an outstanding doubles player. What are a couple of things that really make him such a good doubles player?
Well, what Neal does, he's got his probably his 2 biggest assets are his hands and his quickness on the return. So he's got a kind of an unusual, when you watch this one point, when he starts to return, I'll give you a little description.
Okay.
And here we go again. I pooped one up. What Neal does that makes us a pretty good combination is he's got really good return, and he catches the ball in the rise. And so he's going to these guys with low returns at their feet, then I'm moving forward off to the shot. So you see there now. Oh, that one. And that was a you know, how to hit an overhead into the bottom of the net. But Neal kind of fun good one, and then the wind got it.
Yep.
Off balance, bingity boom. But we'll see. Neal will start dialing in here pretty soon. His returns and his volley quickness are really, when guys hit it hard at him, there's one of my turn to have a nice lob over his head.
Yeah, right.
And we had a little miscommunication there. And boy, Neal gets it back. Oh, the wind's blowing a little bit. The problem a little bit, you know, people always ask me lefty, righties, you know, where should you stand?
Right.
I like the forehands on the outside because as that person volleys back cross court, it's coming out to forehand. The weakness is when you get overhead lobs in the middle, as
right.
you saw in the last one. Nobody wants it because it's on their backhand, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go, Neal, keeping it a little louder, good. This is some of our points, which were pretty amazing here. Bingity boom, but I think that was good. Yeah, and that's where they're good at, because they'll keep the ball going at you. On clay, it's hard to put it away if the ball's low. So then he does a little, you know, angle,
right.
And I told him that, you know, come on, you ought to be able to hit that one. What's the matter with you?
Well, Neal is not known for his movement, but you know, he sure makes up for it with his tennis smarts in terms of you know, just sensing where to be at the right time. That's a great shot, Larry.
All right, now
that's
there's
nice.
the point where I run around my forehand a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm just pounding that middle, because that's where they're most susceptible. And then it's the low over the net. I finally got one. You know, eventually, if you can do it, you're going to get one where they both look at each other and go, yours.
Right.
And
well, there's a good example of Neal with that nice low return that sort of sets you up, and with your big wingspan, you can cover a lot more court. So that was that's just a standard staple play for you guys.
Yeah. The key for that most people don't do is you want to start back a little bit, like service line, but then you got to move as soon as you to feel that the return's a low ball, you start moving in, you know.
Right. Well, there's good low return. Yeah.
Neal.
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point. Get a little love from the crowd on that one.
There you go. This club is really nice because they have, as you can see, each court has a nice little open area where you put them chairs down and watch. And so, you know, every match you got 20, 30 people watching this. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And the stadium court seats like 100. As you can see, Neal plays a little inside the baseline, and he's trying to get the ball on the rise, which doesn't give the other guy time as much to get in. And you can see Marc's making his volley back there 3-4 feet behind the service line.
So Larry, talk a little
bit
about.
He's got to do that.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, I mean, it's a real art form to take that return early, get it down, and then challenge that server to deal with that first volley. So, you know, talk a little bit about this tournament and how it fits into the 6 tournament tour that you've been so instrumental in really making popular and putting on the map over the last what's it been? How many years have you been involved with the senior Florida Grand Prix?
I was the chairman of it for the last, I think, 6 years, and they decided to have somebody else do it this year, although I still oversee the category 2s, which this tournament is one of them. And it's next to the ASICs, it's the biggest Cat 2, I think, in the country.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing. Yeah, there's like 320 players entered in the tournament. So it's very popular. It's you know, Florida is the best place to be in the winter, and you know, for for 2 months, 6 tournaments, and it's really high quality competition, and so players come from all over the country to play in it. So it's it's wonderful.
That's great. That's great. Well, I really enjoyed my 4 or 5 days that I was down there, and the weather is great this time of year, or that time of year, the end of January, and these clay courts at Sterling Oaks are just beautiful.
Yeah, no, they do a nice job. It helps with tournaments now if you've got, these are underground watered, so you don't have to stop. They don't dry out. There's Neal with one of his curveball serves.
Right. it's
a slow curve.
It's a slow curve.
Slow curveball.
Uh-huh.
But it catches him off guard, and as you could see, it allows him to get in. Now, we didn't quite. What he did was he kind of hit his volley up there instead of down, so that got us in trouble a little bit.
That's a great serve. Well, I guess called wide.
No, a little wide.
Yep.
As you can see, I'm playing back in the box a little bit, and this is because these guys are such good lobbers.
Right.
That
There's
a move.
There's a move. That's a good move.
Neal would have had that, as you can see, if he hit it back. What I felt like, Neal got out there wide, so I got to just go. Now, here's what we do a lot.
Right.
Is this? Whoops.
Well,
sometimes it's not always easy to communicate. The problem with that one was I made it move. It was going to be so high for me to try to get it.
Yep.
That I didn't feel like I could make much shot. Unfortunately for Neal, that left him thinking, oh, he's going to hit it, and he doesn't.
But you know what? You guys have played so much together. I think, Larry, that he knows that, look, there's a chance that Larry's not going to take this high backhand, and so he's ready for it.
But as a partner, you also need to always be backing up your partner. Don't assume they're going to get it. They do get it,
Right. Right. Well, that was a great volley by Jared. Actually, that was a point that I featured in one of the episodes of my "What's the Right Shot" series. That was a very popular point, and it just looked like Neal thought that I've rolled such a tough ball. It's just not not coming back. And
but I think what I was telling Neal there was that if you hit low, you can start moving forward because he's not going to hit it deep,
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And now Neal made a good move there. He moved, if you notice, he moved towards the center and covered that ball because I was out a little bit, just scrambling, barely able to get it back.
That's right.
So we recovered pretty good on that point. Guess I'm saying hi to the fans there.
Little leg cord winner?
Shucks.
No? Did not go over?
I think it came back on our side.
Okay. All right. Well, we're doing a lousy job, or at least I, as the play-by-play Larry, doing a lousy job with the score.
Well, you're right. We forgot. We have to tell people what the score is.
I think the listeners are probably a little bit more interested in your commentary in terms of instruction than the score, which I think is secondary right now. But you guys, I know, are rolling in this first set.
I think we were up. We even went up 3-0, I think. And it might be this would be because he started serving, so that would be this would be the 5th game.
Right.
So it's either like 3-1 or 4.
Chat a little bit, Larry, about
what.
Tell us a little bit about what you've got coming up with your upcoming tournament schedule for the rest of 2015.
Well, I've heard a lot of. Well, I tried. Wow. Okay.
Now we changed that. Now, what we did is I had to change the battery at that point. Battery went was about to go dead, and so we've lost a few points here.
A couple games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think this is game number 6, but we lost the last few points of that 5th game.
All right.
But yeah, let us know what you got coming up.
I know I heard a lot of good things about the tournament in Bocage. So actually, I'm going to try to do that. We've got some friends in New Orleans. Kelly, my new bride, we're going to go out there and visit them, and then go to Bocage, which is right close to New Orleans. And come on, put it away.
Oh boy!
Holy mackerel! And that went in, I think. That went out.
That was a good reflex lob.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm just cranking it. I mean, he's just popping it back. Then Atlanta has a great tournament at the ASI.
All right, that's right.
I'm going to play those, and that'll get me up into June. And then I'm actually last couple of years I've played for a team over in Germany. They have a great club system over there. That they have competition between their clubs, and they actually pay players to play for their teams. And so I met some guys a few years back. It's been 5 years now, and so they've adopted me, and I'm one of their team members. So
that's great.
I'll go over to there in June.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Well, it's a great way to make some money and see the country and do a little bit of traveling, and just go ahead and play some tennis. That's great. Looks like a pretty good return up the line.
One thing, if you notice where Marc was standing there, is a couple of feet behind this line, and I guess he's kind of thinking Neal could push there a little bit. The only problem is you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. If the partner hits a return, then you can't really move and cut off the next ball.
Right.
I feel like you got to start much service line, and hey, you should be able to defend yourself from the service line. There, I don't know whether that one's good or I think that one's good.
Yeah.
See, that's where sometimes we have a little bit of communication. Neal's and this same thing for your partner, you got to yell to your partner, yours.
Right away.
I'm not, and sometimes maybe I'm a little lazy and not wanting to, see there, that was a nice low return. Marc moved in, picked it off nicely.
Well, and that's interesting because the point before Marc was staying back would not have had that opportunity.
Yeah, so he's changed things around.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a little. Okay. Now Marc tries to run around it a little bit, and most of the time he hits a pretty good shot, but that time he's a little too far back and he hit it low.
Here goes Neal on the move.
I think I got a nice liner serve, and that Neal's move also disrupted play a little bit there. I mean, it was disrupted him. He was kind of watching Neal, and I hit the line at the same time. Makes it pretty tough one.
That's a great combo.
All right.
Yeah, that's. Well, I think that volley of yours up the line, as long as it's not up too high, it can help open up the court a little bit, and then Neal plays the next shot right down the middle.
Yeah, exactly. As long as Neal moves to the middle, and that forces Jared out into the alley,
right? Then
it's pretty hard for his partner. And you can see what a nice, and that was a great. I think he hit a two-handed half volley there down the line. Neal hit a great return. And once in a while, if he's moving on you like I'm doing, he should be doing that to keep me honest. But still, that's a really hard shot to hit. He's got to hit about 3 or 4 of those to convince me that he can do it all the time.
Right. In the middle. There you go. I mean, you can see that coming. You can see that coming yesterday.
Yep.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. So, are there teams out there that really give you guys some major problems? I mean, now in the 65s.
Yeah, there's this year I think let's see, there's Cheney's a great doubles player.
Yep. Right.
Litwin, unfortunately for Armstead Neely, he's had a kind of a minor stroke, and it's been a little while before he's making his comeback, but he and Cheney were a great team, but I'm sure Brian will if Armstead can't play, he'll pick up a new partner, and he's very tough. You know.
Yeah. No, that's right.
I'll tell you, the guys that are really good that I think come into the division next year are a new team that just about 5 years popped up. Pearson.
Yes.
Marty Pierce. I'm forgetting Pearson's first name, but man, they are tough. They're boogers, and they get on top of the net and poach, and just really come at you hard. And you've got to be playing on the ball, or else you're going to be in trouble.
Look at that.
Look at Neal.
Just a little pickup, and there it is. Well,
now that's what he does that just drives people nuts. I mean, he just sits there and lollipop over, but yet it's like a winner. What's going on?
Well,
Great shot.
the thing you mentioned in the beginning when I asked you what makes Neal such a great doubles player, one thing you mentioned were his hands, and one of the pieces of instruction here that I'd like you to talk about is his hands. I think are so good because he's so relaxed in terms of not getting strong in the grip, not putting a lot of grip tension on there when the opponent's about to play a shot, and just being relaxed and trusting that whatever comes to him, he's going to be able to take his time and make a play on it. Yeah,
and he's adopted a method that's a little different, but I think it works for him and it may work for people. And he doesn't really start with this ready position with the racket in the middle.
That's right.
He has the racket sort of in back position, facing the net. So basically, when they hit it at him, in back, and you usually have a pretty quick reaction to your forehand. So, I mean, he did that way, but most people hit the ball at you. So, hey, boom, 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 you can react very quickly, and that works for him. And people who have a little trouble reacting, it's worth trying. You know?
No, I agree. That's good. One of the other players we did mention about who is a great doubles player that is just coming in the 65s this year is Tony Dawson.
Oh, now, I forgot. Yeah, ooh. I think, hands down, Tony is the best, not hands down, but I think he's the best doubles player currently that we've got in that age. Now we've got Phil Landauer, who's really great doubles player, and also Tom Smith. Those guys are awesome. They're still a couple of years back.
That's right.
From getting into they're still in the 60s, but those guys we have to face, in a couple of years. But Tony, yes, he's playing. I tell you what, there's another one of those flops. And Neal did a pretty good job covering.
And I think Marc missed the shot.
No,
did he make the shot?
He got a little angle ball over. Yeah, he made it in the alley.
Okay, I didn't see it.
But we were struggling a little bit in the international cup matches because we would split the singles but lose the doubles, and we lost to Australia a couple of times. Once with Neal and Phil, and then one with Tom and Phil, and then the next year we got Tony. And I'll tell you what, for 4 years. We won the cups because of Tony. I mean, not just because of Tony, but we split the singles, and he was the backbone of the doubles. I mean, because he makes such good returns, hardly ever misses a low return, and then he moves in afterwards.
Right.
So he's just constantly putting pressure on guys.
Yeah, well, he's very strong. I mean, he's just a strong guy naturally, and was raised in that Aussie tradition of sort of real strong continental grip-based games, and it just really translates well to senior tennis.
Yeah, he plays great doubles. All right, this is one of those.
It's awesome.
It's yours, mine. I got that.
There it comes up the line. Yeah, you can see that one coming.
Yeah, but you see, it's tough if like, when we're in our, if they can effectively lob through the middle, that does create a handicap for us.
Right.
It's
That's a
not
good point.
easy to cover. Well, I even hit a halfway decent backhand overhead, but then I'm out of position.
Right.
And the other guy, so, you know, but it's not that easy for them to hit that shot. There you go, Neal. Here's a little lob, but I got
A little bit deep,
little long.
a little bit. But you
I
can
was
see
waiting
that
for
right
that
there.
one.
You can see where you lob in the middle, it gets a couple of backhands, and even against you guys, you know, it's going to come back, but it's not going to be an overhead that's going to be.
Oh yeah, we're not going to be able to hit much.
Right.
We're going to be, and now with the wind, and you know, so Neal almost got him there.
Right.
Now see that there's this curveball. Look at that.
That's good lob.
Oh, wow.
Good defense.
See, Neal hit a little slider.
Oh,
Okay, no, down.
right.
A little short. I think the wind definitely. And you know what happens a little bit on that lob, the middle, Neal's backhand, when he's got to hit a backhand, there's sun over there, so he's going to be looking right in the sun trying to hit his. So it's like, I got to take all of them, you know.
Larry, how much communicating in terms of real communication, strategy, tactics, whatever, do you guys do between points?
Neal's going, oh man, the sun got me terribly.
Yeah.
You know, we don't do that much, truthfully. We'll talk maybe every struggle, if we're, you know, having a little trouble, like with those lobs, start talking about, okay, anything more of those, or can you let me know earlier if you're not going to take it, you know.
Right.
That kind of stuff. Because, you know, one of the troubles is the ball's coming from across the position and then coming kind of over you, but ending up over on the other side, you know. And so it's actually both of you to get, you know. So somebody's got to decide who's going to take it. And I think that's one of the, and, you know, if you're playing, think about, yeah, I mean, if you got two righties, it doesn't work as well, you know. But if you got a righty and lefty, when you're playing Turville and Newman, you make more of your lobs down the middle rather than over on the side.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
I think that's.
We'll be ready for you.
I know you will. I think one thing that I heard you saying, and I think our Skype audio connection is a little garbled right now, but we'll get through this, is that it's really, the discussion is a lot about just minor adjustments. It's, you know, you've got your own standard sort of plan A that I know that you guys try to deploy, but, you know, within that plan A from time to time, is, you know, against a quality team like this, you've got to make minor adjustments that don't totally take you out of what you typically do.
Yeah. Well, a little long. I wanted to just say something, but the point before that, I don't know whether you noticed Neal's return, but it was just so relaxed and easy, but it was right at Marc's feet and made it a very difficult shot. Now they're going to make life a little tougher on us here with this I formation. And I think, did Marc even hit an ace on that? Maybe.
Looks like you did, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the other thing, when you're you know, opponents returning pretty well and at your feet, it's time to try something different. This, I don't necessarily recommend at our age the bend over. It's, you know, but if you play a little bit to the side, it's much easier. It still works, you know, as far as playing the Australian or the I goes.
So do you feel that if Neal's serving and you're in the Australian formation a little bit to the side, that that you can cover up the line, or is it just always
no? Well, see, I figured that if Neal hits a fairly good serve, let's see what happens here. Come on, Neal, through the middle. And you notice where I'm standing on this, I'm cover middle court.
Yeah.
I'm figuring that Neal's going to go middle or down the line. If he goes for the angle ball, I'm a little bit in trouble. But that's one of the things I'm hoping. That's why you shouldn't really try that severe angle, because your partners, if they're doing the job, is in the middle.
No, that's right. And Larry, would you say that in the point that you're talking about, that Neal senses where your position is in the court, so he's going to choose shots that actually enhance that position and not put you in jeopardy?
Well, I hope so. He likes that angle one every now and then, and I just figure, well, if he goes for it and makes it, great shot. If he doesn't, well, we're going to lose the point anyway. So
right.
Marc's back a little bit. Let's see what Marc's going to do, or how much he moves in. Okay, now he moves in pretty quick.
He's looking for something.
Yeah. That was a perfect.
Yeah.
It's another one of those, Jared, nice little short angle balls.
Larry, how much practice do you put in? Are you doing anything other than playing sets? Do you do any kind of drills at all?
I do a little bit of drilling. I've got a drill I like. It's called 3+1, and you hit 3 courts, and then you hit the next one on the line, and that's one guy. The other guy hits all cross courts.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of movement, and the one person gets to change direction. The other person hits all cross courts, and then after a while you change, and the other guy does 3 in 1, and you hit all cross courts.
Got it.
And it really gets you a good groove. Where people make a mistake is they do like cross court and down the lines. Well, after 5 minutes, you're worn out.
Armistead's not worn out.
Yeah, well,
that's different.
But whoever he's playing is,
That's true.
but it helps you groove the ball pretty good,
right.
And you get enough movement, and to me that's a really good baseline drill to do. And then what I like to do also is, instead of at least starting out, maybe for half an hour, play long, I call them 6-point games, and you serve one person serves the entire to the first 1 to 6. You can either win by 2 or win by 1. That way the returner gets a nice long time of returning, and you get a nice long time of serving. So you're grooving, you're working on, okay, I'm going to hit some wide out serves, and there's no pressure as to,
scoreboard.
I'm playing a game, I got to win the game.
Yeah.
If you lose the thing, big deal, you
right.
know? And sometimes I won't even play sets. I'll just do that for an hour,
Right.
That's the workout. Maybe then play a tiebreaker,
I like that.
Feel like it's a good thing, but I don't. But those 2 things are my 2 sort of staples that I use, and that it's, as long as you're playing enough to, and when you play singles, you got to run around, you got to chase the shots, and if you play for an hour and a half, that's pretty damn good. If you're playing some a player who's steady or keeps the ball going, you're getting a good workout.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually feel guys overplay too much. They love tennis, so they're out there playing 6 days a week, and then they come back and say, oh man, I got a sore or this, or my knee's hurting, or my shoulder's hurting. Well, yeah, and
I think I think that each of us has to sort of really be in touch with our own bodies in terms of what's the right amount to not only kind of stay sharp and maybe even improve in certain areas, but at the same time where you can come out and be fresh and just not have beaten yourself up. And I think that's a real individual balance that everyone's got to figure out for themselves.
Yeah. All right, I think we're pretty well in control of the match, but
yeah, we've got just about 6 minutes left of this video. The video cuts out before the end of the match because of battery issues again, which I'll get resolved over the course of time. But
I'd like to comment on that last shot.
Yeah.
Marc has an unusual characteristic, which makes him very sneaky. He poaches, most of the time on the second serve. And he catches you kind of daydreaming, like, okay, this is the second serve. And so you're just, thinking you can just chip a nice, easy one, and boom, there he goes. So I look for him. Now, you can also look at his court position. He's pretty much in the middle of the box. I recommend that. I think that's great until people can pass you down the line. You want to be there. Otherwise, how are you going to be able to poach balls? You're not.
That's right. That's
Way
right.
too many people stand over towards the, they're going to hit it down the line. Well, that's the toughest shot there is. Let's see somebody do that.
Are these guys signaling each other? So is Marc going to let Jared know if he's going to move, or are they just kind of freelancing?
I think they are signaling.
Okay.
Now, that move Marc made makes me a little nervous, because I think he could have got hit in the head on that one.
Yeah.
He moved over while
That's right.
Jared was hitting a wide serve,
A little short lob. So what do you think about that? I mean, do you and Neal signal to each other, or is it a freelance thing, or what do you do?
I prefer not to do signal. I prefer to talk about it.
Okay.
And the biggest problem, players, it's good, but if the serve isn't hard enough and you're covered behind, I'll watch the serve, and as soon as I see him make a little move, then I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If he starts running over to cover, then now if he's hitting a big serve, it does make it a little tougher, because you're having to think about him poaching and
that's right.
Getting the serve back at the same time, and that's where it's effective. But truthfully, you got to both players stay as long as possible. And I tell everybody, if the returner can hit it in the alley, then that's you can't poach and cover an alley ball. You want to be able to poach and cover because it's in the middle of the serve.
Well, the point you made there, the tip I hope everyone picked up on, especially on the second serve, is that if you're concerned about a team poaching, is just watch what the server does, what their first step or two is after they serve, and assuming it's not a huge kicking second serve, out of your peripheral vision, and this is what I do all the time, Larry, is I just watch what that server does. I don't look at the server's partner, and they always tell you, I think sooner than the net partner does, what's up.
Yeah, exactly. So I tend to, when I got my partner signaling occasionally or going, I'll hesitate. I'll kind of go in the middle of it,
right,
and then make my move.
That's good. That's good.
So
That's
see
great.
my partner start moving, then I make my not until. And if they can hit it in the alley, that was not good. That was called an old man's volley. I forgot to bend my knees.
Old man's volley. Yeah, welcome to the 65s.
Bend over, barely bent over from the waist. All right, I'm playing again. Cover the lob. Neal's slider. That's what also doesn't serve that hard, but he hits kind of a low slider. It's effective,
Yeah. Well, I think guys would like a little bit of pace to work with if it's really coming in slow and low, and you got to have good stroke technique, got to have a good stroke mechanics to be able to, keep it away from you and put Neal under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the righty Neal.
Yeah.
Wow.
And see, this is probably our biggest piece in this whole match. Was if Marc hitting from the middle, he lobs through the middle, and it makes it tough on us. I think we'd be better off hitting over to outside, Marc and or Jared, so that they're not able to lob through the middle so much. Okay, it's a pretty good lob, I think.
You played that overhead right in the middle, not worrying about Marc.
Yeah.
And,
well, right. I hit a kind of a slice one.
Yeah.
So even if Marc had a move, but had a tough backhand volley, because I hit it with some pace, so it would have been tough on him. Now, if I'd been hitting like a forehand, maybe I'd try to go a little more to the alley.
There's a little poach, huh? Little switch.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice. Well, Larry, we've got 10 seconds left here, and we can just keep chatting once the video stops.
I hope folks learned a little bit, and
Well, Larry, listen, thank you so much for helping us out today with your expert commentary. That was really interesting to hear you talk about you and Neal and Jared and Marc, knowing that you had played the match. Any words of wisdom, any parting words of wisdom for us as we close out this video?
Well, just keep plugging. Everybody, you've got things to work on, and I guess don't overdo it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, well, until next time, everybody, thanks again for being on this video, watching the video. If you've got any comments or any questions, any feedback, right below the video, if you're over at YouTube at the Senior Tennis TV channel, right there in the comment section, would love to hear what's on your mind. And if you're over at the blog at SeniorTennisTV.com, right below this video is a comment section too. We'd love to hear from you. So until then, Larry, thanks again. And guys, make it another great day out there.